Hi there, welcome back to English Coach. And today we're talking about some of the things that lead to stupidity and a problematic life. Firstly, I'd like to connect those two ideas stupidity in terms of lack of information, bad decision making, um, a disinterest in things that could affect your future, and laziness. And this laziness generally turns up as a result of clinging to routines or thinking that or believing that you have the right answer to life or you've already figured out a formula when there is in fact no formula. It's just constant learning and constant improvement. So let's start with some examples. Probably you, as one of my viewers, has examples of people in your own family who are overachievers and those who are underachievers or people that are achieving very little or nothing. And I want you to draw two, I want you to draw one central conclusion. When you look at the people in your family who are the laziest, and also the people in your family who seem to be the most misinformed, are they often the same person? And is that by coincidence that they are the same person? Or are they sometimes different people? You could have a lazy person who is incredibly knowledgeable, um, but maybe stupid in other ways, unable to make good decisions. Our lives, if you think about our lives require constant maintenance, constant decision making, constant attention to detail, whether it be our financial life or our career or our relationships or our health. Any aspect of our life requires a little bit of thinking and a little bit of action. It doesn't necessarily require you to do an MBA or require you to study for hours and hours every day. It does, however, require you to continue learning from your mistakes. And that's why I have come to the conclusion that laziness can fossilize into stupidity over time. And why do I say that? I say that because as you withdraw from certain activities or as you put in less effort, you tend to make more mistakes, but you're not actually learning from those mistakes. You're repeating those mistakes or you're doing things in a lackluster fashion, in a way that doesn't actually give you the results that you would need to improve your life. Therefore, I conclude that over time, you are not interacting with the right means or the right practices. You are not trying to improve or find a better way to do whatever it is you need to do in any aspect of your life. And so, therefore, the quality of your life goes down, even though people, as a rule, prefer to have great lives and prefer to have the pie graph of their life, so to speak, which is all of those areas, including financial, health, career, relationships, family, social, hobbies, everything. All of those things, they want those things intact and they want quality in those things. These things all require constant learning to improve upon, and to be able to enjoy to the fullest extent, enjoy and improve, kind of learn from that. And so people that are practicing to improve, they're learning because they are proven wrong. We come to conclusions about life all the time, and they're wrong. You know, part of my argument today is going to be wrong because you do have people that are highly intelligent, for example, but also in one way they could be really lazy. And so that would be a great exception to what I'm trying to say today, which is that over time laziness creates stupidity. And the reason why I believe that, though, is I have met intelligent people, like people who can theorize and people who have a lot of academic intelligence, who don't necessarily lift a finger or do other things, and their view of the world is very askew. It's very out of reality with the real world. I mean, none of us are perfect, and all of us have so far to go before we can actually get closer to how things really are. And one could make the argument that we can never get totally to the real reality because our perceptions um, impact or interact with that more than there is a real reality, which I think could be true. But just take, for example, this attitude that I already know it all. If I already know it all, if I'm not asking myself questions, if I'm not asking other people questions, then perhaps I'm on the road to stupidity. And perhaps I'm going to bankrupt myself intellectually over time by believing that I have some magic key, or some magic formula to life, when life is constant trial and error, and there is no passing finish line, and there is no sunset to drive into. It's just a continual path of trial and error. And that's what my video today here is about. And that's what I want to be able to express to you today, is that whenever you withdraw yourself from the opportunity to learn, whenever you avoid listening to someone else about something that could either benefit you or that could be a criticism about you but partially true, and you decide not to listen to that to protect your ego, you are sabotaging yourself to a certain extent, and you will become, over time, more stupid, in that kind of fossilized stupidity. It doesn't happen all at once, it happens over time, the less you participate in those opportunities to learn. So, yeah, every day is an opportunity to learn, and every time you withdraw yourself from each of those opportunities, you become, let's say, more stupid, or stupid over time. And what is the cure to this? Well, it's useless for me to post this video here on YouTube without actually offering an alternative, or without actually um, shining a light on where you should focus. And where you should actually focus in this case is, how can I participate more? What can I learn from today? Who can I listen to? What information can I get? If you live in a community, or your friends feel like you're too sensitive for them to correct, you don't have that kind of relationship, that's fine. Sometimes you can ask them. Sometimes you can find that information by asking people and interacting with life around you and people around you. Social media is not necessarily going to give you any good answers on that. You need to be able to talk face to face with people, or communicate. If you have to communicate through a chat, you do that, and you find other perceptions of what's going on beside your perception, other ways of thinking besides your way of thinking. And then you have the beautiful option of adopting what someone else is doing or what someone else is thinking, if it makes sense to your set of problems or issues in your reality, if you see it as a solution, and if you believe it will bring you results. So Thank you very much for being here today with me here at English Coach, my little channel here where I talk about stuff that I like to think will keep us closer to the path where we are making progress. It's not always the case because I think um, myself and most human beings are highly um, erroneous, or we come with a lot of baggage and a lot of experience that doesn't actually help us see the future and see the present very clearly. However, thank you for being here, and thank you for taking perhaps some of this idea that I'm sharing with you today, or at least the part of this idea that makes sense for you. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the next video.